Welcome to another Midday Motivated. I am your host, J&J Video Reacts, and we do this thing every day at 12 p.m. We come on here and we do a live stream that basically aims at self-empowerment. Anything that we can do to help you move forward in life, because you're going to move forward regardless anyway. How y'all like my toxic background? My background is toxic, y'all. Get me out of here. But no, it's so funny because what made me think about it is I'm a huge Married at First Sight fan. Make sure my mic is not muted. I'm a huge Married at First Sight fan. And normally, we do a stream on Thursdays right after, right? And I still may do a small one. Normally, I wait for my buddy Ro to come on, but I'm kind of feeling because last week was the because we can always come back on and talk about it. Last week was Decision Day, and the reason I'm kind of equating this to Married at First Sight is because this with regards to this conversation is because of this young lady right here, Alexis. Alexis irritated the living shit out of me, and I'm gonna tell you why. And she did so all season long. And I'm gonna tell you why I'm picking on Alexi today. Because if you look, and this is what I mean by am I being toxic? If she took a look inward, because I do this to myself on a daily basis. I'll ask my wife, am I being an asshole? And normally she'll tell me what I want to hear. No, you're fine, But sometimes, I try to catch myself if I feel like I might be out of line, which I don't get that way with her because I adore her and I cherish her, you know. But if you love somebody, you try to be mindful of how you're addressing them and how you guys are. And one of the things that irritated me about Alexis was the fact that if you look every time Justin went to go, like say they were in a group setting and Justin would start talking and he would start, saying whatever was on his mind, he would get a look on her face exactly like this. Like, oh, what is he going to say? What is he saying now? I was like, oh. She didn't look at him with admiration. She didn't look at him with, oh, this is my husband. I'm into him. And, oh, he's cool. Let's hear what he has to say. She always had a look on her face like, I can't stand this guy. And what is he getting ready to say now? And she would set them up for failure every single time. If you notice, every time they had this is what being in a relationship with a toxic person is like. This is what it looks like when you are being toxic. Like if you're constantly focusing on something negative, like what is he going to say? What's going to happen in this situation? See the energy she's giving out right there? That's the energy she's bringing towards herself as well. And you have to be careful because it's like you have to take a look inward and be like, am I being toxic? Am I really giving this person a fair shot? Am I even listening to what they're saying? Or am I focusing on what I want to say? Or am I focusing on just, I don't want to be here. So everything they're saying is why? And I'm basically looking at them, but I'm ignoring them. I have something going on with my day and I just don't feel like dealing with anything or anyone. And you give off this, don't mess with me vibe. You know what I mean? That's when you can kind of check yourself. Yeah, you're being toxic. If you find that people get tense when you walk into a room or people start, or they get that look on their face like, okay, you're being toxic. And you have to, if you don't want that type of energy, then you need to make sure that you're not putting that type of energy out because it's infectious. It's absolutely infectious. So I don't want to be on here all day, but it's so funny. I was catching up on Married at First Sight, and I was watching, how in front of the experts everything was fine, but as soon as the cameras went away, Alexis and Justin went right at it, and it's like, it made me think about this as a topic for today. It's like, why is she so freaking toxic to this guy? Right from the beginning, all he wanted to do was make the marriage work. He even told her he was in love with her, and honestly, maybe he did a little prematurely, and then they had the scene where her sister came over and she's trying to mediate. And Alexis is saying, I just want to go out to the club. I don't feel like me doing me is hindering our marriage, or I don't feel like, I can't be free. Well, you just married the guy literally a few weeks beforehand. Shouldn't there be a honeymoon period? Shouldn't there be a period where you're kind of getting to know him? And if it was a pain in her ass to get to know him, then that means, yeah, he's not the one for you. But every time they were in a group setting and he went to go say something, he had this look on her face like, and it's like, and then she would start picking at him in front of everybody. If you stop and take a look at the other marriage that broke up, Morgan and Ben, she broke that marriage up because she's so negative on the inside. All she could do was run right to Morgan and say, yeah, he's talking about you behind your back, spreading rumors. That's toxicity. And if you're the type of person that does that, cut it out. Take a look within. You got to learn how to replace that toxicity with self-love. Because maybe if you loved yourself more, you would most likely not project that on other people and bring other people into that space or that type of atmosphere. Shout out to JJ Veganowledge. Hi, baby. She said, hi, everyone. She said, I don't think he was ready to get married. I agree. So she was she was putting him down constantly. Right. She absolutely was. Every time you turn around, whenever they were in a group setting and he was speaking, she would get this look on her face. She wouldn't even look at him. And see, this is a toxic person. This is a person where it's like you have to ask yourself, am I doing this? Am I doing this to people around me? Do I walk through my day and I look like this most of the day? And start to look at the root cause of that and try to figure out why. It could be something stemming from your childhood. It could be something that happened to you earlier in the day. But if you're walking around and you're looking like this, yeah, you're being toxic. You're being toxic. And there's nothing wrong with that because we're human beings and we go through emotions. That's what we do. But when you constantly project that on others, it's time to change that behavior. And there's several ways you can change it. You can start to try to change your thought pattern. I always talk about subliminal healing. Change your thoughts from your subconscious mind on. And a good way to do that is to listen to subliminal thoughts at night while you're sleeping. Put your headset on, you know. Listen to Dauchsy Meditations, which I've included a link in this stream. I always listen to Dauchsy Meditations if I feel like I need to clean some weeds out and have a new perspective on things. I don't like being toxic. I don't like feeling toxic. And if you are in a situation where you find yourself being uncontrollably toxic, well, then remove yourself. Go have a minute with yourself. Take 15 minutes to breathe. Breath work is huge. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Take a few seconds to go to yourself and breathe and just take it in. And you'll feel your body relax and your mind will follow. And just take a look at how am I looking? How is my facial expression in this moment? You know, how is my voice tone in this moment? What kind of energy am I giving off? See how it almost feels like, you know, I'm high when I do something like that. You know what I mean? It's like there's a very deep relaxation that comes when you take a deep breath. You can feel your body relax. And if you feel like you're in a situation where you are being toxic, you're coming off mean, and you don't really mean to be, take that second to yourself. Take that second and breathe. And you'll find that a lot of the anger issues that you're dealing with will subside. Now, it doesn't mean the situation that caused the anger will subside, but at least you're in a better headspace to deal with it, you know? And, that is something that for me, I have, and I said before when I was a suit in corporate America, I had to, force myself when my team wasn't performing well, not to be a toxic supervisor and constantly protect. You had to kind of be objective, and yeah, I was passionate, but it was coming from a place of love. It was coming from a place of making sure that these people were getting the paychecks that they wanted. So sometimes it came off as angry because also, hey, if you ain't getting paid, I'm not getting paid, and I need to get paid. So it helped you to help them, and that's you have to just watch the energy that you're putting out, and if you are being toxic, just kind of put a stop to it, and you'll find that by doing that karma will switch around and go the other way. And the things that you want to happen in your life or the people that you want to be surrounded by will start gravitating toward you because that toxicity will be gone. You'll give up a much more easy energy and you'll attract more of that. And that also helps to dissipate the toxicity, you know? When you're putting out, sometimes force yourself. Fake it till you make it sometimes. If you just are putting out constant negativity, you will get that back. So practice, you know, practice putting out a more calm energy. And you can do that with breath work, you know. So other than that, that's all I have for you guys today. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Take a look in the mirror. If that's something that you're doing to yourself, put a stop to it, That way you're not projecting it and creating that space around you and doing it to others. All right. I hope everybody has a wonderful day. And thank you for watching this on the replay game. Have a good one. Leave me a comment if you think this was a good subject to talk about and add some suggestions to things that you want to talk about in the future. All right. Have a great day.